Welcome back to The Truth with Trinity, and I am your host, Trinity. And if this is your first time tuning into the podcast, welcome. Here I talk about issues that happen within the Black community, hopefully, some type of resolution, advice, or at least food for thought to go about your daily way. So let's jump in to the topic of this episode, and it is I don't know if this is a word, but depopularizing criminal records in our communities or making it less popular. I don't know if it's just me. I grew up in the hood. I grew up in the urban area. I'm not from riches or, suburbs. And I'm sure some of you out here can relate. And, just, hearing different conversations with different brothers, different, sisters, and, especially from the brothers, hearing like, hey, I've got this court date coming up. I've got this bid to do. And if you know anything about what bid is, it's like a slang term for doing a long sentence, a long jail sentence, okay? So, I don't know, it's just become like a rite of passage for our men. I don't know if it like reinforces their so-called manhood to go to jail, to go to court, to have some type of charge pending against them. Um, and I'm not saying some of those charges aren't brought on by, maybe a misunderstanding between the cops, and maybe it's a false charge. I don't know, but it's just too many brothers out here that it seems like it's the thing to do. Not only that, when you hear about it in the rap songs, so it's not just in our communities, it's also in our songs that we listen to. Hip hop and rap. You hear them talking about you know going to jail or something of that nature, or just getting out of jail. And I've even heard some females, talking about, their child's father or their significant other, having a certain amount of time to do. And it wasn't, and she wasn't sounding like it was a disappointment. It was like, it was normal. B, um, she was, kind of fascinated by it, like, almost as if she was saying it like her man was going to college or just got finished with college. She's like, hey, my man's doing a bid. He's doing 20 or he's doing 10 or he's doing 5 years in jail. And it's like, when is the cycle going to stop? With us as a people, in our communities as black people, like there's nothing cool about it. I've even heard young people, adolescents, they'll say that you're lame, or you're not cool if you're not doing something criminal, you're not, about to go to jail or something. Like that's like, you're, like I said, a rite of passage or something in the hood. It's like that needs to change because it's not the hood that needs to change, it's the mindset of us as a people who live in the hood. Okay, because you can move us to a whole nother location and that area will become torn down because of the mindset of us as a people. And I'm not sure if it's, coming back from the past that, we're, used to being incarcerated, enslaved, and so we've made it popular because, as black people, we have a tendency of, making something that was negative, making it positive, which is a good aspect about us. But at the same time, this one needs to die because, like I said, there's nothing cool. There's nothing great about our men being locked up. Even the black women as well, that condone and include themselves in criminal activities. Because let's face it, in America, in this country, it's already hard to stay free as one can be, not being incarcerated by doing absolutely nothing. You could be falsely accused. You can come up against a white individual, and they can say, hey, we don't want to believe you, we want to believe them. So you can get locked up for absolutely nothing at times, but making it just that much easier, when we're out here committing crimes and whatnot and making it cool. We need to stop that with this generation. We need to stop misinforming, miseducating, misguiding our children that this is the way to go. And even if you are an adult that has a criminal record, it's not to say that you're less than or anything than anyone else. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is don't teach your children that it's okay. It's not. You see what it's caused you in your life, or even if you don't have a criminal record, you see what it's caused someone else. And we need to stop that vicious cycle amongst our people of making it cool and popular, okay? And even if it's in songs, even if they're promoting it in songs, that's fairy tale, that's fantasy, because you're not going to get anywhere in life with those type of things on your record. And this system barely wants to, give us anything anyway. Even if we go to school and earn and have clean records, it's already hard enough. Why make your life even that much harder? Accumulating criminal records. It's going to be hard for housing. It's going to be hard for loans. It's going to be hard for, living situations overall. And it just has a bad rap. And like I said, we have a tendency of making something negative positive. Like for example, even the N word. That was a negative name that they placed upon black people solely at one time. Even though in the Webster's dictionary it states that the N word is for someone who is ignorant, that lacks knowledge. But we all know back in the day they were basically saying all black people were N's because all black people were ignorant. And it's not so much that we were ignorant, it's just that we were not able to lay hand to education that was in America at the time. Okay, so we weren't privy to the rights of education and the English language as they were. So, they were calling us ignorant, but we're not. But we turned it around, right? We turned it around and we made the N word cool. So it's like, it's cool to say N. And so I'm basically making a correlation to even with, the criminal records. I know at a time, they were locking black men up even more than now. Even women, even more than they are now, as far as crimes that they didn't commit, or maybe just not for anything. Okay, and so now we've made it cool. It's not cool. I'm here to say it. It's not what's up. It's not happening. If there's any younger people out there listening, even if your parents or, things of that nature, they have criminal records and they're encouraging you or making it sound like it's cool, it's not. Because all that's doing is saying it's cool to get locked up. It's cool to give your life away. It's cool to give someone permission to run your life. It's cool to give up all your rights that you have in this country to become a serial number and to be locked away. That's all you're doing is and it's not. And I've never heard anyone say it's cool to have a record, right? I've never heard anyone verbally come out and say those words, but actions speak louder than words. If you keep putting yourself in situations where you are committing crimes, then you're basically saying it's cool. If you're sitting somewhere talking about it, laughing about it, calling someone lame because they don't have a record, you're basically saying that it's cool. So I'm going to wrap this segment up. I encourage us to do the right things. Like I said, it's already hard enough in this country to, maintain our innocence and freedom. Why even give it up more so for things that we can not put ourselves in predicaments to where we have to answer to courts. We already know that it's a little unfair. It's not set up for us. The cards are stacked against us. Why put yourself in positions to where you have to explain yourself to people who may not want to see you free? Okay? So, that pretty much wraps up this segment. It's been a pleasure talking to you. If you have any questions or concerns, you can reach me at thetruthwithtrinity@gmail.com. Peace and blessings.